Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachach Kodash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of GMS, the Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. Shalom, shalom. And this is Brother Nabali here with another lesson. All right. And this is a in the news. All right. And it says Doomsday clock says apocalypse is closer than ever. All right. And we know, um, you know, America, okay, or what we call it, Babylon the Great, all right, Egypt, Sodom, Gomorrah, all right, all these other names are all associated with America is it's set for doom, all right, it's set for judgment, all right. That's pretty much what Doomsday means, all right. It means a judgment, okay. So this is just a quick article. I'm gonna get into it, and we're gonna get into a few scriptures in Lord's will that this lesson is edifying. All right, so it says here on January 27th, 2026, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists announced that its symbolic doomsday clock has been moved to 85 seconds to midnight. All right, so I believe it went from, I believe, what is it? Was it 90 seconds before? I believe. Yeah, so it went up, what, 5 seconds? And it says marking the closest metaphorical indicator of global catastrophe has ever been to midnight. According to USA Today, it says the annual update reflects scientists' assessment of worsening existential risk uh, from nuclear weapons, climate change, and emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence. The Doomsday Clock, first introduced in 1947 by the Bulletin, is designed as a visual metaphor for how close humanity stands to destroying itself through its own um, technologies and politics. All right, it says midnight represents an imagined global uh, catastrophe, catastrophe, a point of no return. At 85 seconds to midnight, the clock is now closer to the symbolic end of any previous point in its history. It says in settling this year's time, the Bulletin scientists and security board cited a series of pressing threats. All right, it says nuclear tensions remain high, with ongoing conflicts involving nuclear armed states and weakening arms control agreements contributing to instability. It says the looming expiration of the New START treaty between the United States and Russia was singled out as as particularly alarming development, raising fears that long-standing nuclear limits could unravel. It says climate change also figured predominantly in deliberation. Scientists highlighted insufficient global action to curb the greenhouse gas emissions and the increasing severity of extreme weather events as indicators that the world is not making the needed progress to address this slow moving but devastating threat. It says beyond nuclear and environmental dangers, the bulletins emphasize the role of advanced technologies in shaping risks. Rapid developments in artificial intelligence, especially when unregulated, were noted for the potential to spread disinformation and amplify the social instability, and even contribute to biological threats through misuse of AI assisted research. It says the clock's movement reflects not just specific threats, but the bulletin's broader concern that the global leaderships have faltered, according to the organization's statement. Geopolitical competition and nationalistic policies have undermined the international cooperation on shared risks, accelerating the pace towards midnight. While cities, while critics sometimes question the precision of Doomsday's clock as a predictive tool, its creator frame it as a call to action, a way to focus attention on preventable dangers and motivate leaders to criticize alike to respond before it's too late. All right, but we know, as the scriptures say, in the book, Revelations, or Revelations 18, it talks about how this place is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. All right, Revelation 17, how the whore, is going to, turn against Babylon the Great. All right, we know these things. Judgment, man, is going to take place here, man. All right, and that's just is written in the scriptures. All right. So before I get into the scriptures, I wanted to get what doomsday is, right? So Slakia, type in doomsday. All right. Day of the last judgment. All right.
Tap your
That's what a
W-2
doomsday
and
is, the
file
day
your
of the last
taxes
judgment. All
100%
right.
free. Plus, get your biggest refund.
Um,
Roughly 37% of
let me see, is
filers
there anything
qualify.
else in
Simple
here?
Form 1040 returns only. No schedules except for earned income tax credit,
All right,
child
yeah.
tax
All right,
credit,
so
and student loan
doomsday is the day of
interest.
the last
File
judgment, and
now.
the day of the last judgment. All right, and we know that Babylon the Great, it's set for judgment. Okay, so let's get the book of Revelations. We'll start at 17. Get the book of Revelation 17, and let me see. We can start at 1, and we'll drop down to verse 15 on down. All right, so it says, as you see, it says the doom of Babylon. All right, there you go. All right, the judgment. All right, of Babylon. All right, and it says, and there came. It says, and there came one of 7 angels, which had 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, man. All right, and who is that great whore? That great whore is Babylon the Great. All right, all right, that whore that sits upon the beast. All right, and this is uh a vision. What was it? Salakia. Is it John? I believe Salakia. I think I might hold on Salakia. I think it is John. Yeah, John Salakia. I think John. Yeah, he had a vision. All right, Salakia, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Lord was showing him a vision of the judgment of Babylon the Great, all right, also known as America, all right, and I believe we know who America is, all right, according to the book of Revelations 11 and 8, all right. Matter of fact, we could get that real quick, all right, just for edification purposes, all right. This is Revelations 11 and verse 8. And it says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. All right. Who's that? That great city. That great city is Babylon the Great. All right. Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. All right. Where also our what's also Hamashiach was crucified. All right. So this is where our Lord was crucified right here. This is where they changed his image to Cisre Bajoria, man. All right. They changed his image. They tainted his image. All right. This is the place right here, Babylon the Great. All right. Um. So let's go back here to Revelation 17, and we're gonna drop down to was 15 on down to 17, and it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right. So that's what the waters represent. All right, the waters represent peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Right, and it says, in the 10 horns, all right, which represents NATO and the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast. All right, it says, these shall hate the whore. All right, the whore, all right, represents Babylon the Great, America. All right, it says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, man. All right, because ultimately we know that Babylon the Great is going to get destroyed through these, ICBM missiles, these nuclear missiles. All right, and it says, and these nations are gonna hate the whore, man. All right, they're gonna turn on Babylon the Great, man. All right, they're gonna turn on Babylon the Great. They're gonna shoot their missiles, and that's gonna be the judgment of this place, man. All right. It says, for Yahweh Bashim Shai, I put it in their hearts, meaning their minds, to fulfill his will, because that's the will of Yahweh Bashim Shai, man, is to destroy Babylon the Great, man, all right, and to bring forth a righteous kingdom, all right, here on earth, okay? And it says, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashim Shai should be fulfilled, man, all right? Now let's go to Revelations 18. All right, why is this place going to get judged? All right, it says here, for her sins have reached into the heaven, and Yahweh Bashim Shai hath remembered her iniquities, man. All right, Yahweh Bashim Shai doesn't forget, man. He remembered all the things that Babylon the Great has done to his people. All right, so therefore, he has to reward her, which we're going to read next. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her works, man. So it's going to be double unto Babylon the Great, the whore, man, double unto her. All right, for what she did to Yahweh Bashim Shai's people. All right, the apple of his eye, man. All right, threw them to slavery. You know, uh, um, continue to further their affliction. All right, killing his people through bloodshed. All right, through stealing their lands. All right, through grape. All right, through murder. All right, pillaging, stealing. All right, it says, reward her even as she reward you, and double unto her according to her works. It says, in the cup which she filled to her double. It says, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, man. All right. For she said in her heart, I sit as a queen. It says, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrows, man. All right. And that's Babylon believes, the people here believe that Babylon can never be touched. All right. But you go to the book of Isaiah 47 and 1. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that. Isaiah 47 and 1. It says here, right, lament for Babylon. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, and sit on the ground. There is no throne. All right, meaning that Esau's rulership. All right, he's not no longer going to have any more rulership. All right, it's going to be taken from him. All right, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to take Esau Edom's rulership, man. All right. What does the scripture say in Second Ezra 6 and 9? Second Ezra 6 and 9. It says, Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. It says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right. So come sit in our dust, man. This Babylon is full of confusion. All right. The days of you know uh, um, the days of Esau's rulership is coming to an end. All right, he's no longer gonna be ruling this place anymore. All right, after when it's all said and done. All right, after Babylon gets judged. All right, Yahweh Bashim Shai is gonna pull is gonna take that rulership from Esau Edom. All right, let's get back to the book of Revelations. Was it 18? Um, let's read here Revelations 18 and 7. It says, oh no, let's go to 8. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh Shemal Shah who judges her, man. All right. And how this place is going to be burned through nuclear fire, man. That second death, man. All right. Which we'll get. All right. Let's see. Is there any more in this? Let's jump down to verse 20. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh Shemal Shai hath avenged you on her. All right, Yahweh Shemal Shai, man, he's destroying this place for our sakes, man. He's destroying this place, for his people, man, for his elect. All right. It says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea. All right, and that great millstone represents those nuclear missiles. All right, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more, and shall be found no more at all, man. All right, so Babylon the Great, all right, is going to be destroyed, through with violence. All right. It's going to be destroyed with violence, man. The nuclear missiles is going to have, this place, rocking to and fro, man. All right, it's going to be so bad, you know, it's going to be tsunamis. It's going to be, the whole landscape is going to change itself. All right, that's how bad it's going to be, man. All right, that's the judgment that Yahweh Bashim Shai has for Babylon the Great. All right, let's see, Slakia, second death. Which one is it? Here we go, right here. Revelations 21:8. All right, this I want to bring this one out. Slakia. All right. See, it says Revelations 21:8. It says let me see. It says, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. All right. So, America being burned, all right, America being destroyed through these ICBM missiles, all right, through these nuclear missiles, all right, is, the second death, man. All right, that's the lake of fire. All right. So, man, Babylon, man, is due for judgment, man. All right. So, that doomsday clock is at 85 seconds to midnight. All right, and the scriptures tell you that this her sins had reached has reached into the heavens, man. So her judgment is coming, man. All right, rapidly, quick, in due time. All right. You see, the vision is yet for appointed time. All right. So that vision is now, man. All right. So with that being said, I'd like to give our praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of GMS, a great millstone, who teach and who will. This is Slakia. This is Brother Nabala. Until the next lesson. Shalom, shalom.